Hello and welcome. So, this is a video about Castle Swimmer, a webcomic by Wendy Martin. The basic premise of it is that it follows these two main characters in a world of humanoid fish people living in their underwater civilization. We follow Kappa, the beacon, who is destined to fulfill prophecies in various kingdoms, and his gilded scales are all over the place, letting people know that their prophecies are coming to fruition. But he's very tired of this life and just wants to be seen as normal and not be burdened by the expectations of all of these people's histories. And we also follow the Shark Prince Siren, who is tied to one of these prophecies, where his people are cursed to have harm befall them, and it is said that only an unscarred prince could break this by killing the beacon. So Siren here is supposed to kill Kappa to end his people's curse. And you can see on all of the designs of the shark characters that they are horribly scarred from this curse. And because of this, Siren is very mad and he wants to fight alongside his people, but they all just want him to stay safe and stay home, and he just wants to help out more. And other important characters here are Queen Suska, who's sort of the main antagonist of this arc, and limits a lot of what Siren is able to do, is very overprotective of her son. Elder Selkie, who advises the queen. Queen's Knee and Krilly, who enter the castle later on and are a big part of the eventual escape plan. And the guards Skiff and Seko. So, the webcomic itself makes very good use of its infinite scroll, as you can just continue traveling down. So, like we see in Kappa's introduction scene, it's not even all on the page here. We go from the ocean surface all the way down till he pushes on the floor. And when we're introduced to Kappa, he's very excited to learn about the world around him. And we very quickly see that all of the fish, all of the environment want to help him and help him fulfill these prophecies. We next see a lot of great establishing shots showing the architecture of the world, like the main colonies, and this here is the shark's home itself. And then we're introduced to Siren, who we get to see a lot of the great character work here. Like, he is being told the prophecy once again, but not listening, and you can just see from this image of him how much of a brooding teen he is, that he doesn't like any of this. And continuing into the story, Kappa gets captured by the sharks, and Siren is meant to go execute him, but this is one of the most important scenes here, is where he tells him that he is refusing to do that, and he wants to find any other way to break his people's curse without having to murder. But we then see after this the consequences of that is in the following days. The curse continues to take its hold, and while they're fighting, their weapons shatter, and the ceiling above them crumbles and falls down. But eventually, these two continue talking. They even start flirting a little, but that's not important right now. And they hatch an escape plan. And on their way out, they get by with the help of one of the guards, Skiff, who is Siren's most trusted confidant. Uh, but of course, the escape plan fails, as we see an artistic representation here of the magic of this world, as Kappa is pulled back by the prophecy holding him to Siren. And then everything gets turned on its head when Selkie forces Suska to reveal that she had switched the roles, and it was not Kappa who had to die, but Siren. So, in wanting to protect her son, she had rewritten their entire history and made it so that they would kill the beacon and think that it had failed, and her son never had to die. So, to fix all of this, she imprisons Siren and takes Kappa out to publicly execute him. But we get to see Siren escape, shedding all of his royal garb to reach one of the keys outside of the cell and rush in at the last moment. So we get another incredible infinite scroll shot down on the crowd of shark onlookers as Suska takes a swipe at Kappa, but Siren jumps in and gets his first scar. This bleeding also stops the curse for a while, as for an entire month afterwards, nobody befalls the curse. So, my personal review of this is that this is an incredible story. One of the best webtoons out there, definitely. The themes of having to live up to expectations are very universal, and Kappa is a very relatable character, and eventually Siren, but at first he's just far too broody, far too edgy. But the character design and setting design is incredible. All of the underwater structures and the different races of species of fish people are great. Kappa and Siren's eventual relationship makes perfect sense, and they really become each other's rocks. And immediately after this first arc here, they get split up for an entire second season of the story. So it's very nice to later on see them reunite and just talk about what they've been through and how everything is going. Also, for this first arc, the major plot twist I had never seen coming, that the roles were switched, and it really recontextualizes everything before that. And just rereading it again to make this presentation was a great experience, now knowing that and seeing all of the signs. Yeah, conclusion. There's not much merch of it, but I do own both of these, and they're up on one of my shelves holding hands. All of the greater seasons are much better character-wise. You get to meet new... This is their axolotl pet, and these three are the best characters ever. The evil witch octopus people, who aren't really evil, they're kind of just cutie patooties, but they say they're so evil and witchy. We also get a lot of other great representation throughout the series. Yeah. Thank you for watching.